There's all this feuding going on. I think I counted there's something like four different Sinn Féin groups on the go. It's just not helping anyone.
I know, mate. I hear what you're saying. So what do you think's the way forward then for Ireland to go? I mean, do you think Ireland will... I suggested to somebody last night, Mick last night, that was on talking to you last night, that, that if the South don't want you and Britain doesn't want you, then the two communities have got to come to the realisation, whatever way we've got to, the whole thing's fucked up to the level that, well, if one side doesn't want you, another side doesn't want you, then you've just got to fucking come to a conclusion that you need to love with each other and accept. Accept that you're now fucking this entity called the North of Ireland, and find a peace and say, well, both cultures will have to compromise with everything and live with each other, and maybe miss a generation or two in 50 years' time, if God spares us all, then that generation there will have every chance of building a future without the negativity of hatred for someone who's different.
I mean, obviously the main aim is to make sure that there's no partition in Ireland, but the likelihood of that currently or in the near future, like you say, the South don't want them, the Britain doesn't want them. You're never going to get the loyalist community cooperating at all to leave Britain. That's just not going to happen. I mean, in 50 years' time, the possibility of reunification is more likely than it is now, probably, I don't know. It's a more complicated issue than Scotland, obviously, and if Scotland does leave the Union, it can only be good for Ireland. I wrote today talking about Scottish independence that Scotland oil production exceeds that in the Middle East. Middle Eastern areas like Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Is that right? You think?
Yeah, I've seen that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and and on that basis, when you've got 5 million people there, 5.5 million or whatever, and on that basis, you should all be living, in one of the highest on the HDI scale should be near the top. You should be like Scandinavian countries, and so you've just been robbed, basically.
Totally, mate. Totally.
I mean, did you see that program on BBC where they were showing you how London's doing so well and everything? And they had a map on it of London, and London was exceeding everywhere else. But the second highest part of the country was Aberdeen. And so I keep hearing arguments that Scotland couldn't sustain itself. It's completely sustainable. The quality of life would improve drastically.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Well, the people, you heard the guy earlier on, I spoke to somebody in Shetland, says full-time employment up there. I heard somebody in Aberdeen. They're sending 39,000 Aberdonians down for a fucking Diddy Cup. You know what I mean? So these people are suffering from a recession. So the whole thing's gone to pot. If Aberdeen can be successful and have a buoyant economy because of the oil, then we should look at it and say, well, that fucking oil would make the rest of this country a whole lot better. It's as simplistic as that, and it's as easy as that. Yeah. It's a fucking case of that resource there is the black gold, right? And if we've got a tap onto it, then turn that tap on and give every cunt fucking free gas and electric, at least charge them a nominal fee. Yeah. Don't rip the fucking hole and cost them thousands of pounds, instantly. You imagine it overnight, right? If they turn around and say to these multinational companies, pay us fucking quadruple, and as soon as they said, we're not paying it, right, fuckies, we're taking that oil fuel back. In fact, fuckies, we're taking all these oil fuels back, and then they turn around and say, everybody in the country, your fuel bills are, per year, a fiver a month, £60
Well,
a year. There you go.
You could go to,
service, and that's you're away.
I know probably most people are not a fan of Gaddafi, but in Libya, which until now has the lowest HDI in Africa. Under the power of Gaddafi, had the highest HDI, and he gave free electricity to all his people. You know, so if Libya can do it, then it can definitely be done in Scotland. And I mean, there's so many amenities and facilities that could be provided for free off the back of that. As long as it's, you know, done the right way and the independence doesn't lead to people lining their own pockets. But I don't think it would.
It's not a case of it could be done, it should be done. It should be done.
Yeah.
There's a certain things in society that should be provided to make it a decent society. So pensioners shouldn't be paying for electric. Nobody should be paying for electric or gas. People
not if you're in an oil-rich country, definitely not.
Yeah, people should be paying. You look at the Middle East. There's countries where people don't pay tax and they have a health service. But then there's other places where they pay loads in taxes. So you've got Sweden or Norway, but their countries are that well run and that efficient, and there's nobody there starving, nobody in food banks, and nobody's freezing to death. So they're taking other people and caring for them, and then getting on with making the rest of the country make business and all that. But here, it's just about business, make money, and fuck everybody else. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, this is a problem. People are obsessed with money now, and you know, as is the case with everything now, everything that is ruined is because of greed. You know, and when you mention Norway and places like that, I mean, have you been to Norway?
No, mate, no.
No, I mean, it's usually the model that people quote for, you know, the perfect society and everything, but it has got, like you mentioned, its quality of life is way better. But I've found the society to be quite exclusive in the sense that it was more strictly aimed towards Norwegians, and the immigrant population were treated with a lot of hostility. But I mean, if you took that model and implemented it successfully, it would be excellent. You got the population size, which is a small enough population to do it on a sustainable level. I mean, the truth is, if Britain loses Scotland, you know, it's a huge dent to them. I didn't realise how much the Scottish economy made up, you know, and contributed to this country. It's you have to get out of the Union. That's the main thing. Just get out of the Union. It helps everyone, not just Scotland. Like I said last night, it'll help all independence movements around the world. And everyone's looking at Scotland, especially European, you know, Catalonia, Ireland, whether or not you agree with the Flemish movement, I don't know. But you have those, everybody's looking to it. And I think the process of smaller countries is the future. As you can see in Britain, it's not fair. Everybody in London is living, not everybody in London, but you live in London, you're doing okay. If you're living outside of London, you're not doing okay. The majority don't live in London. You know, a lot of people the southeast of England, they don't have, you know, money, they're in debt and everything. It's only a very, very small minority that are doing okay off the back of the wealth this country produces. So you're better off on your own. And also, it's not just about that. You're getting away from a dirty union that has murdered and pillaged half the world, you know? Why would you want to be associated with that?
You're a breath of fresh air, Joe, but the trouble is, I've been sitting here for 4 hours, and see, when I started, I was cream crackered. But you know what? I'm more awake now than what I was when I started, but you know what? I know I'm fucked for tomorrow, mate, so I need to go because I've got an early rise and I need to get up.
Oh, no, man, all good.
So, call
all
back
the best.
Another time, mate, and come back on fucking earlier if you can, and we'll do it again, mate. Maybe not tomorrow night, but start next week.
Okay, man.
I'll be taking a wee few days off. Maybe come back Saturday if I can get into doing it. But
yeah, no, it'd be good. All right.
Back on. You're on any time, mate. Come back on any time I'm on. You're more than welcome, yeah.
All the best, man.
God bless you. You're a good man. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Right, Bananas, you phoned as well. You mad bass. I seen the missed call there for unknown. Right, but we're out of here. Good night. God bless. And he's a bastard, so he's up. That is not really. Right, did we play the Soldier song earlier on? We did. So we'll not play it again. But God bless all the soldiers out there, all the soldier laddies, lassies and transsexuals, gays and lesbians. If that's the way you're inclined, batter into each other. Don't expect me to participate, but I'll defend the right for you to be fucking as deviant to each other as you want, you sick bastards. Right, God forgive me. Fucking, it's the only one anyway that's out there. Unless you all forgive me, right? Forgive me if I've offended you, but go fuck yourselves. Right, here we go. It's just a ride, right, Bill? It's just a ride.
Fantastic, and I hope you enjoyed it. There is a point. Is there a point to all this? Let's find a point. Is there a point to my act? I would say there is. I have to. The world is like a ride at an amusement park, and when you choose to go on it, you think it's real, because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud, and it's fun for a while. Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us, and they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid, ever, because this is just a ride. And we kill those people. Shut him up. We have a lot invested in this ride. Shut him up. Look at my furrows of worry. Look at my big bank account and my family. This has to be real. It's just a ride. But we always kill those good guys who try and tell us that. You ever notice that? And let the demons run amok? But it doesn't matter, because it's just a ride. And we can change it anytime we want. It's only a choice. No effort, no work, no job, no savings of money. A choice right now between fear and love. The eyes of fear want you to put bigger locks on your door, buy guns, close yourself off. The eyes of love instead see all of us as one. Here's what we can do to change the world right now to a better ride. Take all that money we spend on weapons and defense each year and instead spend it feeding, clothing, and educating the poor of the world, which it would many times over, not one human being excluded, and we can explore space together, both inner and outer, forever in peace. Thank you very much. You've been great. I hope you enjoyed it. London, you're fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I want the world to know you won't beat us, because we're the children of those that took the worst form of slavery and brutality that ever lived, that ever existed. Our parents survived the Middle Passage. Only the strong got here, and then we lost our name, our culture, our religion, and we're still here. So you may have a momentary victory, Mr. Bush, but you don't know who we are.
I pledge no allegiance. Fuck the president's speeches. What the industry did to Pac, they did to Jesus. Raping his vocals and then destroying the message. Trying to deport us if they can't destroy and arrest us. Government front religious, but their heart is empty. Like a televangelist preaching out of his Bentley. Calling abortion murder in a medical building, but don't give a fuck about bombing Iraqi children. Talking like eunuchs in a fucking libretto. Look at their mansions and look at your suburban ghetto. The gulag, the new hood where they send us to live, cause they don't give a fuck about none of our kids. That's why blacks and Latinos get the worst education, while devils run America like birth of a nation. Affirmative action ain't reverse discrimination. That shit is a pathetic excuse for reparations.
Come on, Bin Laden didn't blow up the projects. It was you, nigga. It was you. Bush knocked down the towers. It was you, nigga. It was you, motherfucker. Bin Laden didn't blow up the projects. It was you, nigga. It was you. Bush knocked